The National Guard troops that Donald Trump has deployed in our nation's capital have so little to do that they have been photographed and videoed this week donning their bright orange vests over their, camo to pick up trash along the streets and in the parks of Washington, D.C. They're not out there busting crime like Donald Trump says, getting people in order. No, they're picking up garbage because there's literally nothing else for them to do. I mean, talk about not just a waste of resources, because this occupation of DC is costing $1.1 million a day to pick up garbage, but how embarrassing and humiliating and degrading for these National Guard troops. You go through basic training, same as any other branch of the military. You're hoping to serve your country, to do well, to protect the homeland, and instead, this little wannabe Hitler has you in D.C. in front of the White House picking up garbage that he probably threw out the window of his motorcade. That's what he has them doing. This is an absolute insult to those men and women in uniform. I mean, being deployed in D.C. in the first place was an insult to them. But this is what Trump has them doing because there is no crime for them to bust. And for the record, the fact that these folks are out there picking up trash proves that Donald Trump was lying about the crime rates, not the city of D.C. Because if it really were overrun with gang members and murderers and all these robberies every other day, these National Guard people would have a lot to do. They wouldn't be worried about the garbage because they'd be taking out the criminals. But they're not. In fact, the administration tried to play it off when people were like, hey, why are they all picking up garbage? The administration said, oh, no. This is actually, these people were deployed. Get this. This is what they said. They were deployed as part of a beautification of D.C. So now, instead of being deployed in D.C., because the crime rate's out of control and we got to have the National Guard in there, now the White House is rewriting their own history and saying, what are you talking about? Crime? No, we brought these folks in because there's a lot of rappers on the ground in the park. It's just beautification. We have 40 other cleaning projects, by the way, that they said we're going to have them do. 40 other cleaning projects. Because, right? Why not? Let's spend $1.1 million a day to have service members pick up trash. And for the record, they actually do pay people in the city of DC to do that. So what's happening to those people? Are they losing their jobs? I mean, this whole thing is just the dumbest thing ever. And the White House, again, rewriting history to say that, no, we only deployed National Guard because, the trash, nobody was taking the trash out. This is insanity. And what's even worse is that the administration is bragging that we've now arrested 1,000 people. 1,000 people in D.C. in 2.5 weeks. Do you know who the vast majority of those people actually are? Those are coming from ICE raids. Not the National Guard, not the FBI, the DEA, whatever. ICE is doing raids, and they've arrested this many people. And in fact, a magistrate judge in D.C. actually pointed out that most of these people are totally innocent. They're here legally. You're just randomly arresting people, and then in a couple weeks, they'll be released again, but you'll act like, oh, look at the numbers we got. The judge said this. He said these crackdowns are reckless and not legally acceptable. We don't just charge people criminally, throw them in the jail for a few weeks, and then bring them in here and say, oops, my bad. I have never, ever in my life seen something close to the illegality of these searches. It's what the judge said. So even the people that they are arresting are not people who deserve to be arrested. So now you're putting the burden on the courts to have to go in and do 1,000 case dismissed, case dismissed, case dismissed. Meanwhile, your National Guard's out there picking up trash. If they really want to pick up trash, they should take the big orange piece of junk out of the White House, because that is the biggest trash in Washington, D.C. right now. Thanks for watching, everyone. We're inching closer and closer to 1 million subscribers, and we're aiming to hit that goal before the year closes. So if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please do so, and Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Thanks for joining us as we head towards this huge milestone.